Cent kick. And I've been to Harlem. And I like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
But in my head, I flash back to like 2003, 2004 Harlem when 50 Cent was like bumping. You can just imagine walking on the street that I've been down, like everyone would just be blasting that down the fucking street. Like I can imagine how sick it would have been. Just hear everything.
Wild.
It's like if you hear people talk about it, they're like, 50 was the biggest motherfucker. Like, they're like, this shit was lit. Like, that's so cool.
That is wild.
But yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying came out in like 2003, I think.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was in 5th grade, which is funny.
So I was out of high school for 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
So
it hits people differently,
it does,
you know?
for sure.
My exposure to it though was my friend who was like this goofy white ginger kid. He's like,
have you heard rap
he's
music?
like, 50 Cent is the man. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's right.
been shot.
He was
a
right.
lot.
He was absolutely right.
Still's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's the man. He's actually the best because he trolls the shit out of people.
Yes, he does.
He's been like his own thing from like day one to grown into this massive success, and then like he never fucked around, did weird shit. You know, like all his P. Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
He like made fun of P. Diddy like 15 years ago. Like he's
Yeah.
like, what? Like, no.
Yeah. Hit him with the diddler.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
I'm pretty sure P. Diddy like offered to take him shopping. He's like, man, get you some clothes. And 50's like, no.
No.
Like, no man taking me shopping? Like, fuck
No,
you.
dude, yeah.
like
You're my dad.
His first like red flag. Just going, what the fuck?
I'm like, no, we're not doing that. That's fucking weird.
I also heard he bought like a lot of like the front row seats at like a Ja Rule concert.
Yeah.
So that they were empty. Like
just fuck with
to be a dick.
Man, Ja. Yeah. Sorry, bro.
He fucked him up pretty good.
Yeah. That's
And he's just hilarious. Like he's just funny.
that is funny.
On
Like,
top of being a sick businessman.
Why are the front row empty? I don't know. They all said 50 Cent. What it like just like a little bit of like like
Just because.
yeah. Like there ain't nobody to play to, and like wouldn't it be funny if he like not only like bought the front rows but put security in the aisle so nobody could move forward?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah, like nah, you
like,
can't
"No."
get close. Yeah,
I'll put a hand on your chest. All right.
Yeah, like
But dumpster fire dialogues. Here we
Yep.
are.
we're here. This is our little intro spiel.
I've just been on a 50 Cent kick again.
Yeah,
It's been sick. It's the
All right.
best spring summer music.
yeah. You probably couldn't hear it, which is probably a good thing because I don't want a copyright strike for it. But there was we're in Endeavor, which is a gym, and 50 Cent was playing on the CrossFit side, so we're definitely getting a little up in the club tonight.
Yeah, like I remember like the movie coming out later on and stuff, but like that album and The Massacre coming out a couple years later was sick.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was pretty young.
I was gonna say I was older. I was like 20. Well, 20.
Yeah.
20, 21 maybe. But yeah, like I remember all that coming out. I wasn't big into that kind of rap at that age. I was more of like a Tribe Called Quest in that like vein. But that was also like popular when I was in 5th and 6th grade. Was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Tribe Called Quest and like all
Right.
that stuff, like De La Soul.
Yep.
Leaders of the New was, I don't even think they were together at that point when I started like listening to that kind of stuff. And then Busta Rhymes had his solo and was like his first solo album. That was huge when I was like in 5th and 6th and 7th grade.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Throwback music.
Yeah, for real. Like now it is like, but it's wild. Think about that stuff.
Yeah.
That progression.
Yeah. It's Armbar April at Endeavor. We're
Yeah.
exploring the arm attack in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Breaking mechanics, setups,
Yeah.
Arm bars were like one of the first submissions I was like glued to,
Yeah.
or like I hit and was like, okay, I can like develop this. Like,
Yeah, you were like, okay, I understand this.
yeah, let me work around this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I love arm bars. It'll be a good month. Just finished up takedowns,
Yeah.
so we'll link those things a little bit.
I was gonna say the arm, like, I know where they're at and I can hit them occasionally. Actually, I would say between that and ankle locks, which is fundamentally like a similar type of attack, just different orientation, I can hit those two submissions pretty well. Still working on my chokes.
Yeah, you get one again. You get one like pops out, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna stick with this for a sec.
Yeah.
See how many weird places you can hit it.
It's very true. Very true.
Got a lapel choke seminar coming up in Boston next
Nice.
month. Probably do some like, kind of want to do some like crucifix assassin chokes, stuff like that. A little bit unique that I actually do.
I was gonna say, like, who or where are you going? I mean, obviously you said Boston, but like you're specifically teaching lapel attack.
Yeah,
Nice.
at Forge Self Defense Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a lot of gi. Last time I went up, I did like Apache leg pin stuff, straights, obviously.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
From the other year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's Salem, like Massachusetts, so like
Yeah.
Witch Town.
Yeah.
Brooke's coming this time, so she's gonna explore.
Explore.
Like it's Halloween almost year round, like not really full blown, but like people walk around and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
in the summer.
It's like their
obviously.
tourism. They're like, hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
throw you in a lake, and you're like, oh shit,
for
no,
real.
no.
Do you
Like,
want to be burned at the stake?
Yeah. Like, we're gonna put this hot iron on your mouth, and if you don't get burned, you're not a witch.
Yeah.
What?
What the fuck, dude?
Like what?
Yeah, it's a sick town. Really excited to go back.
Yeah.
I like East Coast. The East Coast is growing on me for sure, because I just haven't experienced it a ton. But I don't know. I might take East Coast over West Coast personally. Weather, I mean, is obviously a thing, but
Yeah, the
aside
weather's
from that,
killer. The history, though, is much more interesting
Sick.
on the East Coast.
yeah,
We'll definitely give you that.
it's super cool.
Yeah, but the weather on the West Coast.
Can't be beat. Yeah, paradise.
Yeah. It's, especially in like California, even though I have zero interest in living in California, and I have lived in California, it's very beautiful there, but like everything else that comes along with that.
Yeah, the things that come along
Pass.
with it. Not
Yeah.
interested.
Pass.
No, I've argued that Ohio is like a sick HQ.
Mm-hmm.
Low natural disasters, like
Yep.
tornadoes and shit, obviously, flooding. But like, it's not a tsunami, it's not hurricanes, it's not earthquakes. Like,
Having experienced hurricanes, tornadoes, lived in Tornado Alley, lived in North Carolina where we experienced tornadoes and flooding from hurricanes
Yep.
on base. Like, yeah, Ohio's all right. Like, the tornadoes here, I'm like, yes, they exist,
yeah,
but I live either in the city or like on the edge of the city. And I'm not saying it can't happen,
less of a chance.
but the likelihood is much, much lower.
Yeah. I mean, we've had like a couple touchdown recently,
Yeah.
like in the past
Yeah.
few years. Shit got fucked up here and there, but
I just remember living so we lived in Missouri, and that was when I was like heavily into cycling. And so we went on a ride one morning, and there's this really cool like ranch with all of this like crazy property, and you could ride like on a hill above it on the road, because the road that they lived off of like dipped down into their property.
nice.
And then we rode the next day, and there had been some tornadoes in that area. Everything was gone. That
Shit.
whole entire house completely gone.
Yeah.
And their whole entire house was scattered on the front acreage of their property, which is like this beautiful manicured lawn that they had kept. And so like, imagine like this, probably like a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot house, if not bigger. Their entire house was literally just scattered into that field.
What a fucking
Like a
nightmare.
giant had just come by and gone, flick.
Yep.
And you're like,
Shows how fickle shit is.
yeah. It was eye opening, and that was, I think, because of the size of their property, their main house was completely devastated, and there was nothing else in that entire area because the tornado just came down, whoop,
Yep.
destroyed their house, gone.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, I actually went storm chasing with a dude who was he was a volunteer firefighter. He had been, I say certified to storm chase. I don't know what that means. I just went with him. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I was like, cool, man. At the time I was single. I had, I have no kids. Like,
Didn't have a wife
like
back. Are you
yeah.
fucking serious?
Yeah, no, nobody to be like, what are you doing? Like, I was an adult, and we went all night, and that was the first time I ever saw a tornado touchdown.
Yeah.
We were like 2 or 3 miles away from where it happened, but we were sitting, he took me to a neighborhood that had been destroyed. He said 3 times, and we're sitting there looking at where some of the storm fronts were, and you just see this white line come down, move across, go back up, and he's like, that was it. And I was
Holy
like,
shit.
I was like, what? He's like, that was a tornado. And like, we looked at the news the next day, and like that area that we were he's like, that area is this. He like named the place, and he was like, there's probably like whatever was there's nothing left. I was like, okay. And so we looked it up, and no shit, like multiple houses had been destroyed.
Damn.
But yeah, it was just this white line came down, moved across, came back up, gone, and it was like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Insane.
Like nothing. But yeah, it was definitely.
Can be prepared for a lot of things, but that's rough.
Yeah, it's like, so I think tornadoes here, and I'm just like, meh. Like, okay. Like, I am not like taking anything lightly for sure, because I've seen the effects, and I've lived in areas where like, I'm like, oh, yeah, like our house might not be here at all.
That'll get
Got
you.
it. Yeah.
Movie Twister petrified me as a kid.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Storm chasing is sick. Like, that is cool.
It was wild. Like, I mean, he obviously had, like, he understood the cloud formations where we were, and he would, like, leave areas where he thought we were in danger. But we were out for, like, 6 hours that night. And then the next day, so this is when he and I had both gone through boot camp and graduated boot camp. So we were on, like, recruiter's assistants in the city. And the next day, I went around with one of my, like, the senior NCOs of the, like, recruiting substation, and there was stuff that was like downtown area of, I say downtown, I don't know anymore. There's one tall building in Springfield, Missouri, and it's Hammond's Tower. And then there's like a baseball field like to the north of it. And then there's like a building it's like a warehouse like this, like corrugated steel beams and stuff like that. And like a tornado didn't hit it, so there's these downdrafts that hit the ground and move across the ground. And it did the same thing it did to that house. It just like scattered that.
Smoked it.
Yeah, and like the steel I-beams are like as tall as you and I are sitting.
Fuck.
And this shit was wild. The dude.
Humans think we got it all figured out.
Yeah. Well, the dude that I was with kind of had like, it wasn't an accent. Like, I don't know if he had like a speech impediment. And he's a cool, super cool dude. But he's like, holy fuck, look at this shit. What the fuck, man? We just drove by her yesterday.
You're like, yes, we did.
I was like, yeah, dude. Like,
There's nothing left.
holy shit.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I wouldn't, like, unless that's your thing and you're an adrenaline junkie, don't go storm chasing. I would say I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I don't know. I guess that story's not necessarily selling that narrative very well.
I would do it like once or
Yeah.
twice maybe, or do it to say I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it as a full-on hobby. You know? Well, it's like I've had some friends that like have like legitimately done like research into like cryptids and like
Yeah.
gone out. I'm like, I want to do that. I'll do that over storm chasing.
Yeah. Explain what that is. Like,
Cryptids are, you know, the odd creatures of the world that are maybe in between lore and reality.
okay.
Skinwalkers. Bigfoots.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, your
Bigfoots.
Loch Ness. You know,
Okay.
you're kind of run-of-the-mill
Like
cryptids.
creatures of like potential lore.
Yeah.
But
That may have some substantiation to them.
yeah.
There's weird shit that happens in weird places.
It's true.
People go missing in strange places in strange fashions.
Also true.
A lot of weird shit goes on in national forests and just desolate places.
Yeah.
Like we talked about places that are very old, have a lot of history to them.
Yeah.
Funky stuff. And like, I don't know if I can be like, I full-heartedly believe in all of it or this or that, but like, I believe that people have strange experiences and experience odd things.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
would at least like to be like, I also experienced something odd that I can't explain, or like, that was a fucking headlight, like, you know, like, it's like, it's bullshit. Like, so, but I've spent time outside and all that sort of stuff, and it's fun to think about at the very
Yeah.
least. Like,
Well, I was gonna say, as like you're like somebody who's like an avid outdoorsman, so it's not like you're like, yeah, what would I do if Bigfoot just did pop out of me? I'm
Yeah.
like, smoke that fool.
yeah, no, it'd be very. I'm sure I would shit just like everyone else does.
Huh.
But
I caught this grainy video. Of course you did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's a YouTube dude, Mr. Ballin.
Okay.
He storyteller, but he like breaks down a lot of the missing people cases in like national forests and like the potentiation of
Yeah.
critters, you know. So at the very least, it's fun. If not, an entire species of things out there that we don't know anything about. I mean, they pull out new species of the ocean every day, and they're
Well,
like,
right.
aliens are down there. So
There's like new species in the ocean, but there's like places in the world that are still. I mean, there's uncontacted tribes. So there's parts of humanity that have made it places that like they'll just kill anybody else who comes there because they don't know what they are. Like they understand that they're like that.
yeah,
But it's like what the poor kid who tried to like go minister to those like one
Yeah.
he was a Christian, like went out to the island and got killed like
Yeah.
almost immediately.
right.
Like it's
Like,
not
he-
even we don't want what you're selling. Like
like-
Mormons ringing the doorbell. It's like, oh look at that.
Munched.
Like yeah.
Probably munched them.
Yeah, they probably did eat that dude.
There's not quite a few, but like a number of like YouTubers and shit that are like going into like uncontacted tribe territory and like trying to document and shit, and like just get killed. Like,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
not like certain things. Leave them alone.
Well, man, that's like have you ever heard of Channel 5?
I don't know.
It's his name's Andrew something. He's probably one of the most interesting investigative journalists. He literally went to the southern side of the border, paid a coyote to get him across, and swam across the Rio Grande and got arrested, and then had to like prove that he was an American citizen.
Yeah.
Or like he went into Vegas and went into like there's an extensive like waterway system in Vegas
Tunnels.
and tunnels, and like he went into the tunnels and like met people.
Yeah. There's a whole society down there. Like,
Yeah, and like in every city, there's some kind of subset of. I wouldn't even say they're homeless. Like that's a divisive term now. Whatever. They choose to live not in a home. They choose to like live a certain lifestyle. Like, fine, like, but they don't have a home, so they choose to live off the city, like, or the natural resources within a city. And it's like, there's stuff here in our city like that. Like
Yeah.
around where I work, like which is a resource center for everybody, not just them.
yeah.
But like most of them are fine.
Yeah.
Some of them are fine.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Right.
But yeah, like
Not all of any population is
no,
good to go.
yeah. Like I was gonna say, you can go another couple mile and a half down the road, and the people that are well-to-do have some of the same fucking problems. They just have a nicer house.
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah. Problems.
Yeah.
Everybody got problems.
We've got problems.
But yeah, definitely like my form of adrenaline chasing would probably be chasing potentially fake creatures. Or if they're
It's out
real,
in the woods.
if they were real, that's adrenaline rush of the century.
Yeah, that'd be fucking wild. Like, no, I really saw it as like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
people are like, what? Like,
And like I've again like spent pretty good amount of time outdoors. A lot of people more so, but like
yeah.
I've heard weird shit, but I've never been like, oh my god, that's a problem. Like, one, we're also not in like bear country either, so you don't have like legitimate predatory threats like that.
I was gonna say, I've spent, when we were in Afghanistan, like, we lived in a tent. And then every third night we were outside, or like in a vehicle outside, looking at the exteriors to provide our own security. And like, I never had any weird, I mean, I was sleep deprived. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like so it wasn't
You're in
like
prime territory to.
yeah, to like be like, whoa, shit, like
shit.
what was that? I will say probably the scariest thing that we had happen is there was this dumbass who worked on base with us. We didn't know who he was at the time. He was a part of another unit, like, and they had their own space. To keep up his PT, he would run inside the base, but at night. And this fuckhead had a gas mask on. So it's just a fucking.
You're like, yo.
No, seriously, he got fucking leveled with an M16.
I'm sure.
And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! And he started to run towards us. I was just like, whoop.
Yeah, stop.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm a Marine. I was like, cool. Take your fucking gas mask off and let me see your fucking face.
What is going on right now?
Like, did you want to fucking be a fucking blue on blue or green on green fucking death? Like,
That's how that happens.
yeah, I don't give a fuck. You have a glow strap on. You know that they're not retarded and they can see too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's insane.
you just look like an idiot, primed to have a fucking IED on you.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Hey,
He's like, just trying to get my reps in.
seriously, that's what it was like, and he was
Almost got
whatever, man.
smoked.
Like, yeah,
There's a lot of lore in Afghanistan about some stuff too. You know, there's
I have
some
no
creatures
doubt.
over there, and involving U.S. military even.
Yeah, yeah.
The giants. That's what I've read about. That's what I've heard. I don't know. So I don't know. Everywhere has something,
It does have something.
some sort of story.
Something.
And even if you go back far enough in history, everything has like 60% facts, 40% lore, and then it kind of shifts in and out, and it's like, all right, well, where are we? We were listening to hardcore history, like on the way to Virginia Beach,
Yeah.
and like they're talking about, you know, like Philip and Alexander the Great, and like leading into like just massive siege warfare and just everything that basically shaped the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of just like power struggles and hungry for growth and acceleration, and a lot of it was ego and like sheer I need to control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll close up. Recording.
Yeah. Like a trainer.
Yeah, okay. She knows. Okay, now the CrossFit's over. Ugh. Well, what were we talking about? Stuff.
History.
History, hardcore history.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing
Control
like,
of like, you know, those like massive movements like out of Macedonia and like I do find it interesting you were talking about Afghanistan. Like Afghanistan, if you understand any of the history of that, it is truly the most fought over land because it is a transitional place from Asia to Europe.
yeah, yeah.
And like it is
It's always been a contentious place.
yeah, I mean, and so while I was there, like I sat on base, but like I was exposed to the Afghani National Army, and we would see them, like in the chow hall, and like or the DFAC, whatever you want to call it, and it was like, okay, that dude is definitely like what you would think of as like somebody from Afghanistan, and then next to him you'd have a dude that literally looked Russian, and then you'd have somebody who looked Macedonian, and then you'd have somebody who looked Mongolian, and so there's like these heavy like cultural influences all throughout their populations.
Yeah.
And I know they're fractured, but you'd have like a blonde-haired, like blue-eyed, like big, prominent, like Greek, Macedonian, like that area of features, and it like, like it truly is like, oh, I see, like if you know anything about the history of that place, like, and there was another place we went through, it was Kyrgyzstan, and part of their cultural like is like they have Mongolian like yurts, and like falconry is like a part of their like history and culture because of the Mongols.
Yep.
And there'd be like this Russian woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, like speaking Russian, standing right next to somebody who's like a definitely like a Euro blend of like Mongolian and like European or like Russian or whatever you want to call them, Slavic, whatever. And it's like she's speaking the same language.
Right.
It was wild. And like to see that like path of like war as they like went through those areas and literally just like impregnated population after like
that was a huge part of the plan was to like, you know, siege and get in and then start repopulating with your your lineage. Like, that was a huge part of like Alexander's plan and Philip's plan. And like prior to all that, that's where it gets into like the gods are involved, and it's like, all right, where is the mixture?
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's like I have to take all this responsibility.
To
like, bang all of the wives. But that's where like the mixture of like facts and lore comes in. Then it like comes into like modern bookkeeping and and you're writing shit down and documenting. Things are actually like factually documented back to a certain point. Before that, it's kind of like, huh? I mean, let's see. Maybe there were giants and Bigfoots and shit running around. You never know. So, but yeah, no, it's like deeply, deeply the richest, oldest history.
There's
gets back to biblical history.
Yeah, like being some of those places, like being those two places that like I was there for. I mean, in Afghanistan, I wasn't like moving around the country. I saw one part of the country in the desert in Helmand province. Like the other things that I saw were like brought to me. And then in Kyrgyzstan, I was in one place, saw that. I was on that old Soviet block base. That's the international airport there still.
Nice.
But yeah, it was definitely like...
And having like, it had been such like a cultural hotspot for so long, you probably saw things from everywhere at like all turns. Like,
well, you know this about me, but like when I'm going to do something, like I like start to research it. So like obviously I'm going like you're sending me to war in a place. So like I bought books and read them and had some idea of like what conflict we were dealing with, the culture of the people and the read of the people, and then to meet them. So like I met people from Afghanistan before we went there because they were like Terps, and like talked to them about it and like talked to them about Afghanistan, like the culture, like what they thought of like the perspective of like from history. And so like I was able to ask people questions that I had that were from there. Like they had been in America for several years, but it was like, they're like, yeah, that's true. Like this did happen. Like these things happened. And the one dude was like a Terp, and I was like, what do you think of what's going on now? And he's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm in America. It's sweet here. I was like, okay. He's like, I love it here. He's like, he's like, I can't tell you how different my life is now. He's like, I love that I can help the military. And I don't think he was like trying to sell me on like that he was loyal to us. Like obviously he's vetted like to the degree. Yeah. But like, he's like, it's basically it was like, it's horrible there. Yeah. He's like, my daughters have a future. He's like, my wife won't be like stoned if she like whatever. It's like, I'm good. Yeah. It's cool. I understand that. Like I was like
hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, America #1, baby.
Yeah. And it was like, that's hard for people to wrap their head around, like how it's not even about poverty. It's about like just the freedom to be like, fuck this place or fuck that place, like even without getting your hands cut off.
I was literally gonna say that. Like, I was literally gonna be like, one place cuts your hands off, the other place a slap on the wrist, verbal, and then, hey, knock it off,
If that.
I think I'll take the verbal warning.
Yeah, like, hey man, don't say it around the kids. This might like maybe the most you'll get. Yeah. Don't say fuck around the kids. Yeah. Like,
it's a lot more freedom.
Yeah, like keep the F-bombs out, and you can say I don't like America or I don't like this place at all. And nobody cares.
The government won't come after you.
Yeah, or just the person like yeah.
So sorry, Canada.
You mean the 51st state?
I mean, I'm going there for my honeymoon, so I better be squared away.
Yeah. You mean you're invading?
Yeah, I'm the spear tip of this operation.
Damn it, I knew you were an asset.
I'm getting boots on the ground
asset.
Early. Yeah. You're sending me in. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
You're like, actually, we're frontiersmen, and I'm frontiering. I'm expanding into the fucking
They're
north.
like, we're still here. I'm like, no,
Great
you're not.
North, like, no, you're not.
This is
Yeah.
America 2.0.
They gave me this flag, and they said if I plant it this far and at this angle, like I'm good. This is mine.
They just said to handle it in terms,
Yeah.
came in terms of people there, so I don't know.
What funny form of English are you speaking? The same one you are. Nope. I
Yep.
don't buy it. Sounds a little French to me.
I'm not
Sorry.
into it. Gotta go. But yeah, I don't know. Canada used to be sick. It used to be Canadian bros, and then shit got awry up there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, I've heard a lot of weird stories.
I've never actually been to Canada.
It's beautiful.
I met some
spot.
Canadian military dudes, but
Yeah.
yeah,
What are they like? Canadian
Cool.
military.
they're just fucking us.
Just the bros, yeah.
They're just bros like
So
us.
it's like there's
Yeah.
bros in there mixed in.
I think it's just dudes from like northern Michigan or northern Minnesota, and that's fucking Canada. Sorry, Canada.
It's the
Oh.
same thing. You can throw a
You were
rock
fucking
across a
cool.
lake.
Yeah. There's just white dudes that fucking speak a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
Yep. And
Like,
bears.
Yeah, I mean,
Bears and
there's-
moose.
one, it's like a huge amount of like tundra and outdoor stuff. But no, they were super cool. Like met them, met a couple Brits. The Brits were funny.
Brits are awesome.
Because we were on, like when we left the main area where I was in Afghanistan and went back to Camp Leatherneck. Leatherneck was attached to Camp Bastion, whatever it was. I forget. But
One of
Leatherneck was attached to, Leatherneck was huge because it was attached to a British base, which like I think like a year or two later got invaded. Or like 1 or 2 years later, like got invaded by the Afghanis and like almost overran.
Huh.
And they ran into some air wingers, and those air wingers actually did some fucking work.
Yeah.
Killed a bunch of people.
Shit.
A couple of them got killed too, unfortunately. But anyways, so we were just on the base, and like we went to their side of the base to get some food because they had like some good like curry and like stuff like that. Their PX also had like to us, to Americans, like interesting stuff. But like the Dutch were over there, the Canadians were over there, like basically all those like international forces were kind of on the Brit side of the base. But we needed a ride back, so like we asked them if we could like hop a ride. We were in the back on one of their like little transports, and they were just taking the piss out of everybody. So we started doing it too. Like one dude was like, "Yeah, man, I fucked a hooker in Germany." I'm like, okay.
Yes, and
He's like, and like, okay, like cool. And they were showing us their cigarettes. Like their cigarette packs have these like ours are like cancer, like
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Theirs have like pictures of what cancer will
Oh.
do to you.
that they have that in Costa Rica.
Really?
You go into like a chachi shop in Costa Rica, let's
Are
cigars
they
and
like,
shit.
aren't they, or is Costa Rica like have some, I can't remember, do they have a British connection? Or is that just like,
That's a good question.
probably, I wonder if they import Brit cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, everything, all the packaging on tobacco, anything down there is like a tumor on it. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
definitely it like sends a message, makes you think twice.
yeah, they're like, this is weird to look at. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I assume it wouldn't stop you from smoking. Like, nah.
Nah.
No, mate. Yeah. Like, but yeah.
Yeah. Different things around the world.
Wild.
We met some really cool people this past weekend in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys was like one of the prominent, gym owner in the UK, and like
Nice.
obviously their knife crime is massive.
But hey, they outlawed katanas.
Hey, fuck yeah.
So now you
Sweet.
can't get stabbed from 5 feet away.
Darn. Sorry, Joe. Yeah. And the numbers are insane. Like, KCC just released a video on it, like him breaking down like crime statistics, and tons of them involve blades.
Yeah.
So
It's to the point over there, instead of doing something different, they're trying to almost outlaw all knives. Like there's talk of like, this is something obviously like you and I are interested in, I know that I've read articles over the last several years. There are people in their parliament trying to pass laws to ban kitchen knives. Like, and I think even some of their knives are only sold blunted, so they don't have tips. So like, you know, if you think of like a cutting motion, like where you swipe down through with a tip, or like drag through, like they don't have the tip of the knife. So like, but like I can still hack somebody to death with a fucking knife. Like,
Yeah, that's insane. Prisoners have been improvising shanks and blades
Yeah.
forever.
and
Anything metal or pointy, a stick.
you give me enough time and enough will, and not even that. Like I can
Yeah.
make this a weapon.
Yeah,
Whether it's full or not, I can cut somebody with the plastic after I rip it.
yeah,
Like very effectively too. Like it doesn't need to be glass. Like
yeah.
it's kind of ridiculous. Like, but
Yeah, I don't know.
honestly,
luck.
yeah,
Like,
good luck.
Good
Like,
luck.
But I mean, like here in Ohio, like you have constitutional carry, so
Yeah.
that means like you don't know who's armed.
Yeah,
And that should intone some level of respect for everybody. Like, it's sad that that's what it takes. Like, I won't fuck with that dude because he have a gun, instead of I won't fuck with that person because they're another human and I have some dignity
Yeah.
for them. But like,
it's like Aaron said it the other day. It's like, look at Texas. Like,
yeah,
you know, aside
Good
from
luck.
certain things, like very low percentages of
Yeah.
like bad activity like that. So,
yeah, it's because you're gonna get shot,
yeah, yeah.
and not by one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple people might be like, "You
If you're like
fucking with
in
that
a
dude?"
store, there's like
Yeah.
3 people,
Yeah.
you decide to hold it up. Fucking cashier's probably got something. At least one of those people probably got something. Some guy coming in.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. You see a lot of like CCTV footage of like things like that happening. And you're like, then you see them get smoked by a civilian or something. You're like, well,
Yeah.
that's what you fucking get.
Yeah, it's but like that idea of like, and if I'm wrong with about the blunted knives, I think I've heard people like anecdotally talking about that. Like, tell me, I don't care, I want to know.
Yeah.
But like
it's interesting.
outlawing, like I think they even said they didn't call it a katana, or they called it a ninja sword, like in the law.
No ninja
They said
swords.
we're banning ninja swords. I'm like,
Great.
you mean the thing that has like a real name, like not ninja sword?
It is pretty funny.
Yeah,
That is funny.
that's like they say.
don't know,
Like,
if you put
I'm
it in a
banning
law-
Oriental rugs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you put it in a law, they're like, katana. What the fuck is a katana?
Yeah. Katana.
I'm like, ninja sword, sick.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Really had to-
ninja sword. That's what it is.
Really gotta dumb it down.
It's a good thing you don't have Google or AI on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a name for that.
Do better. But yeah, like, that blows me away. Like,
That's such a strange answer, or like a way to go about it. Seems like that's gonna take a long time, and it won't work. Blah, blah,
I mean, honestly, if they rearmed their population, they wouldn't have a fucking problem in like a month.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, everybody's got a gun.
Nice
Ooh.
government issued gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cut it loose.
Yeah.
I bet you there's an American gun company that would just be like, you can have these.
Donated.
High Point.
Somebody. And it would help.
Yeah. Hey, break open that wall in your parents' house where all the guns are hidden still. And
Like
use
that's in
them.
like World War II. You know, like Japanese engineers and stuff got the call to home. And they're like, you don't understand the sleeping giant. You're about to wake up. Like
yeah.
someone with a gun is behind every blade of grass.
Yeah.
It is
yeah.
a different type
Yes.
of beast.
Yeah. It's wild. Like, I mean, can you imagine if hopefully this never happens? I'm not saying it won't or couldn't. Hopefully not in our lifetime. But they would never try and disarm our population. Good luck. There's more
Just-
guns than there are people.
That and the people that would be tasked with doing that wouldn't do it. Like,
No, I know enough people that are police officers or sheriffs that would be like, I'm not doing that.
yeah, that just wouldn't happen.
And even the military would be like,
Nope. Yeah.
like, get
Be
bent.
a lot of pushback. And then a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have any guns, I lost them. When
I was
they're-
in a boating accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one
when,
of my favorites.
I never saw them. Yeah, I lost that one, well, years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting solutions to interesting problems.
Like banning a sword, like banning a specific item. Like I kind of now I want to know. Like I'm gonna go home and research like how many sword attacks there were in the UK.
Probably prominent.
Probably. It's probably just dudes walking around like straight ninjas.
Yeah.
So they're like, we gotta call it a ninja sword.
It's like, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. But blades never have gone out of style, and they never will. It's fairly easily accessible, even if it's not. Even if they don't sell it or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna find something. A sharp edge happens in nature.
Yeah.
Rocks get pointy and sharp. Glass gets pointy and sharp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are they gonna do next? Ban rocks?
Yeah. It's like, good luck.
He had a long rock that he cut somebody with. Better ban those fucking rocks.
Caveman spear? Ninja swords?
Spear.
Caveman spears?
These dudes are gonna, like, the UK is gonna go back and they're gonna start like flint napping and like making bow and arrows and fucking obsidian knives.
Maybe like kind of sick.
Yeah.
Maybe a sick pushback. Be like, you know what? Taking matters in my own
You
hands.
go up to Stonehenge and reignite those fucking druid roots and fucking start sacrificing virgins and shit.
Time.
Yeah.
Back to the Germanic era.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think laws like that don't help a lot, personally.
No.
From what I've seen.
No. No, they don't. This is, you start banning swords because you banned guns.
Ban sticks, ban fists, ban like
Yeah, we're gonna go handless.
ban an open hand.
Yeah.
Like I can fuck people up with an open hand.
Yeah.
But yeah. Self-defense around the world is interesting.
It is.
I'm glad we're in Ohio.
We've gotten super broad based. We're talking global self-defense.
Global politics. We're we're qualified to talk about global stuff. But yeah.
We are but mere peons.
Yeah. Me are peons with a podcast.
Yes.
Just like most podcasts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't knock the microphone out of my hand.
Yeah. Another reason why America's sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's because everyone can have a podcast if they want. I don't think China allows that.
No. You probably don't even allow the word podcast.
They're like, not allowed. They're like, just you talking about stuff? No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
that literally, that may be it. Like, if you type the word, I'm sure it just disappears.
Damn.
It'd be pretty wild.
Can't even have podcasts. Outlawing podcasts now, so I mean, shit.
Well, we're totally ruining our future social credit score by
Oh, dude, yeah.
our words are going to be out there. They're going to be like, you don't agree with this.
I won't be able to leave my house.
Yeah.
I'm an enemy of the state for
No,
sure.
you'll live under a bridge in Vegas.
There we go.
We'll live
Nah,
somewhere
I'm
under
going
a
to
bridge.
the woods. I'm going
To
to
the woods?
Yeah.
Go the opposite way.
Yeah. I can do better out there.
I'll go live with Bigfoot.
Hey, I'd love to.
Yeah.
If they've been hiding this long, doing a good job. You guys
They
get
are.
on that train. They're the ultimate leave me the fuck aloners. I can jump on board with that.
Yeah. I can go over here, and I'm going to go over here.
If I can just get like whatever sense they have that's like, oh, people, I'm gonna go that way. I love that.
Yeah.
I have some sense of that, but some sort of supernatural sense of that would be phenomenal. That's good self-defense. Avoiding a lot of people. Avoiding.
Oh, that person's a dickhead? Nah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Ah, that person is a chaos magnet and has problems everywhere they go.
Yeah. I'm out.
Maybe I won't join them. But yeah, great week. Got a good week coming up this week. Nothing crazy, just training.
Same. I got to teach. I taught today. It was a good group. Good group. They like ground through everything. Did consistent like reps and just fucking got into it. We teach 4-hour blocks, which physically for the people that I'm teaching is a lot. Even with consistent like breaks, like they're toast by the end of it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like mixing in and they're dying, and I'm having fun.
Right.
Which it's not like I'm not fun at their expense. Like I'm teaching them as like we're doing stuff.
Enjoying what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. Like when you have a crowd like that in like a long stretch, and they don't want to be there after the first hour.
Yep.
You're like, damn, it's gonna be a long 3 more hours. Like,
Trying-
but at the
I
same
mean-
time, like from your position, you're like, I'm gonna do it. I
Yeah.
have to do it. We have to do it. So you better fucking do it. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, like it's not like I'm not doing it with them. Like that's the thing about like teaching, fighting. Like you're a part of it.
oh yeah.
Like you're very rarely ever on the fringe, just looking in.
I'm always like in KCC. I'm like, if you need me to come around and do it to you, so you can feel it, or if you want to do it on me, so I can tell you certain things, like, let's do it. Like,
Yeah, and that's like, if we're down a number, like either I'll jump in, Foster or Noah, and it's like you saw tonight. Like Noah was like tired, and but he still showed up to train like for him, not
oh yeah.
like you showed to train to get his training in. Like
Yep.
although I'm not saying that what we do there doesn't add to what I do here. Like it absolutely does, because we do hand fighting, we do control on the ground and stuff like that. It's just a different spectrum of like problem solving.
Yeah. What do you do like when they hit the wall? Like, do you give them a sec to regroup and then kind of get back into it, like theorize for a little, or you're like, fuck it, let's go?
We kind of want them to hit the wall, because hitting that wall creates an opportunity to talk about not quitting in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the training scenario, like that push, that constant push is realistic in a way. Like there are times when we'll hit 15 plus calls a day where we actually have to fight somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a leadership role inside the department, like I may be on every single one of those calls. They may not be.
Yeah.
So as they progress, or if there's just one of those days where they happen to be moving a lot, or it's happening in an area where they are, they could face that same challenge of having something that's consistent across the day, where they're walking all day, they're encountering violence, then going back to moving around, encountering violence, like boom, 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 like that. So the 4 hours, while it sucks because it's probably more intense than what they would face sometimes, it really can match up with reality. Like,
Yeah.
And
That's good.
we are teaching them how to deal with like some extremes, some low level stuff, like initial contact mixed with just getting like baseline control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what we teach, but at the same time, like arm drags,
Mm-hmm.
like their rest is arm drags.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like super violent, like fast. I took what Craig Douglas and Brian Frias teach, that like wrist attached, head attached, like arm drag, and that's like where we introduce them to the arm drag to help them teaching like clear the arm. And then we teach a high contact, like touch that's similar to like a grab, or even like coming in for a strike arm drag, just so that they know to get their helmet up, like how to get attachment and not get hit, or if they do get hit, to not get knocked out. So
Yeah.
we teach them helmeting, crashing, getting control, like going to the back, by utilizing an arm drag. So that's like kind of like a whole series. And then we teach them to walk the clock towards the head, just like KCC. Like we don't want to get entangled in somebody's legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
shit
that,
sucks.
you don't want to deal with somebody's guard. Like
Yeah.
that sucks.
That's
It's very
jiu-jitsu
complex. Yeah.
and world.
Yeah, like I don't want to entangle in their guard, because now you're introducing such a complex skill of like, how do you pass that, or how do you disentangle from somebody who's potentially physically stronger than you? Yeah, you go towards the weaker part of their body and put your the stronger part of your body on that part. So we teach them to seek gift wrap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Upper body wrestling,
Yeah.
basic pinning.
yep.
It's not like scarf hold, jump over, fucking,
No.
you know what I mean? It's like,
What we do is it's very glacial, to steal your term,
yeah.
and grindy, so that they have a true sense of like keeping your hips square. Like if somebody builds up to a turtle position, like how to break them down. It's all very important, because a lot of what we do goes to the ground. We do talk about safe takedowns, like giving them their hands and stuff like that. And actually we do have, on the channel, we have a video coming out from one of the other shows we run called the Steak Knife Show, that Mike is in as well, where we're showing group tactics.
I'm the bad guy.
He is the bad guy. It's not a violent bad guy, although we did talk about having you come in and like maybe coming in here and having you be like a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. I'm a good bad guy.
You are like showing like what if you do go up against somebody trained, like how does a group handle something like that?
Yeah. There was a post just last week, like an officer getting into some sort of, escalation, and like I guess it was with a smaller female, but she was like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, jumped on his back, tried to get after him a little bit, So like people train, people do shit.
Yeah.
You have to, I think a good portion of what you guys would handle would hopefully be untrained. But what if you get that one motherfucker who's in there, I've taken too many drugs that day, and I'm not having a great day, I'm coming and whoop everyone's ass. Like,
I mean, so we have had people, I didn't recognize them because I don't go to the gyms that Foster goes to all the time. But there was somebody who came in, and this dude was taking trained wrestling shots. He was in a very small area, but he was covering about 5 feet with his like shot.
shit.
And like,
Yeah.
that's like closer to a higher level of technique.
Yeah, if they're shooting on hard concrete and they're committed to it and like covering this, you're like, whoa.
And then during the struggle with that person, because they train MMA, they were cage walking to gain better position and square their hips back to drive.
Yeah.
So like all of this, actually they almost Foster, they almost hit a clean fireman's carry, and like because somebody else was there, they stopped the mechanic of like that movement. But like he was like, he's like, oh, because he didn't recognize him at first, and then it like clicked who he was, and it became a much different fight. But yeah, like those people do have bad days, and you don't know who's training in your gyms, and it's not like, oh, they're a bad person. Like that wasn't a bad person. That person just had a problem that day. Or did something that created a problem, like whatever it may have been, like whether they're training or they're just watching and they're athletic, like they're watching a sport that's violent and they're picking things up and like, come here, Bill, let me put you in this triangle. Oh shit, it does work. He's out.
Yeah.
Like that sounds stupid, but that's some of probably one of the biggest problems we've had is wrestlers who watch other grappling sports after they're done wrestling. And they do something, and it's like they have just enough feel to be that dangerous.
They're like, oh, I'm gonna grab his head. Like, you can't do guillotines in wrestling. Like, but like, oh, I saw UFC. I'm in this. Oh, and then that's a problem.
As soon as they understand they can close their hands around things, they become very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we live in one of the more elite wrestling areas in the country.
Yeah.
You have to be like
I mean, that is
aware of
true.
that.
Yeah. Like we live in like a good wrestling state, jiu-jitsu, MMA. Like there's a reasonable fighting community like in the state, and there's more people that I think that have had like 0-3 MMA careers, but like still know some shit than there are the guys who are in UFC. Like I think the numbers are more skewed towards that.
Yeah, but 0-3 inside that cage, you've now been locked in an octagon with 3 different people.
Yeah, you understand.
You've had your ass beat, survived.
Yep.
And you've trained to that level. And I know that could be like, you trained for a month and you went to your first MMA fight, but
like
then
someone's basement.
Continued.
Yep.
And you got more fights. And it's like, I would say even the average officer, police officer, security officer, like whatever, doesn't understand the level of commitment it takes to even go that far.
Yeah.
There's some serious violence that they've faced. Even if it's just a local fight card, I don't care.
Yeah.
They're
and even if they
dangerous.
lost, like they put up with some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they lost, and it may have not been of just they walked out there, got their clock cleaned that one hit, or submitted. They may have gone rounds and lost on points.
Or they have had a few successes and like got lucky and knocked the shit out of someone, or like got someone's back and choked them because they figured out how.
Yep.
Shit happens. People know stuff. walk softly, carry a big stick or a gun or whatever, all that shit. Stick, knife, gun, mace, and a black belt.
But no ninja swords.
No ninja sword. Those are illegal.
In the UK.
That's very illegal. That's like, there's like, oh, I'm a black belt in this. And it's like, well, you got into a black belt with a gun. Or, there's plenty of black belts that I know that are in combatives who have X, Y, and Z tools before it comes down to pure grappling. So it's going to be a little bit of a different fight.
I mean, like if you're truly like a self-defense, like a true martial artist, like you're probably touching other areas of violence.
Oh yeah.
You should be.
Yeah, particularly like in the combatives world that firearms, knives are like legitimately trained.
Yes.
It's not LARPing in a jiu-jitsu gym where they get tossed in a knife and like, cool, and you like feel good carrying a folder. It's like, it's not going to be the case. It's going to be people carrying fixed blades, appendix carry, like who know how to access them under entanglement. Like those are going to be the scariest, nastiest motherfuckers available. And then I think those people that are 0-3, like 1-2, they're dangerous enough to do that and cause serious issue.
Yeah, I mean those people that are 0-2 may be the person that's training those combatives as well. Like they did the MMA route because that was fun.
Yeah.
Or they thought it was fun. Like that is.
And a lot of shit's out there. Like it's not widely accepted yet, or there's communities about it, like combatives training stuff. A lot of these guys are running businesses, so they're creating content of what they're doing and putting it out there, and they don't have the like, oh, this guy can't look at it. It's like, no, they're picking shit up too.
Yeah, and they may be just going and training it on their own with their friends. I was listening to, was it Joe Rogan, and he had a dude on there, Scott Payne, who was the undercover guy for the FBI. And he was talking about infiltrating or being undercover with like a white supremacist group or like, a militia group or whatever. And he said the person running the firearms training for them was a 19-year-old. And most of his experience, and he said it was good. He's like, it was good firearms training. And this dude runs SWAT firearms training, advanced tactics, like clearing out, like mount, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, the firearms training this dude is providing was amazing. He's like, or was good. He's like, there was a couple things that could have been better. He's like, but from that perspective of somebody who's an elite, like shooter and like person who's done this stuff, he's like, it was good firearms training. And so he picked his brain about how he got there, and the dude played video games and replicated and learned tactics from a video game and then took it out into the real world and started to apply it. So think about that, how those things are translating. Like they know the lingo, they understand. They may have somebody on a video game that could be a special forces person or something like that, teaching them true tactics.
Yeah.
And then they're going out, and it's not like, in the context of a video game, that's not malicious. You're not shooting anybody for real.
Right, you're just, oh, I'll do this, and you're like, I crouch.
It's a fucking war simulator.
Yeah.
Like it's straight Ender's Game. Like you're going out and not simulating, you're doing battle. And so all those reflexes are there, it's just translating it to the object here. And so all these things are already highly trained in then it's just putting it to this real movement. Like so.
And people who say video games like aren't something.
Yeah.
They are.
They are.
Simulators are a thing.
Yeah.
Training simulators, that's just a level down from that.
Well, like even if you're not playing like a like a first person shooter or something like that, and you're playing complex decision making games.
Age of Empires.
Yeah, or like something like that, or like Legend of Zelda that has puzzles. Like you're giving critical thinking skills.
Right.
So now you have trained critical thinking skills, problem solving, and then you're putting it into a tactical setting, and you're telling me there's not value, and you're lowering the barrier to pulling a trigger now.
Especially like a lot of reps.
Yes.
Like you're getting to the point where you're just like aim, shoot, aim, shoot, aim, shoot.
Yeah,
so like when it
there's
comes out,
no
aim,
thought
shoot, you're like,
behind
oh
it.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Actually, there's certain things to that. Even in my shit, I've translated certain things. I'm like, I did that shit from Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
not that I'm like that's a main training methodology, but I'm like I can trace that to exactly to where it is, like to where
I think
I've
it
learned
definitely can like meet and truly like bridge the gap. I know that I blanked out on his name.
Somebody.
He's an author, and I completely just blanked out his name. But he wrote a book about how video games impact like the psychology of killing and stuff like that. And he wrote On Combat on it. Grossman, David Grossman. Sorry, but yeah, Grossman wrote another book that it was about like violent music, violent video games, like stuff like that, and how he thinks it's impacting culture to go out and be more violent because it is lowering that threshold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with that because like you said, like you as a person have to make a decision about that.
For
There's
sure.
Agency, the individual has agency. Like, yes, those things can be influential in how people do things, but if you just have bad parents and you're a bad person and you decide to do bad things, that's a choice.
Yeah.
Just because you were exposed to a violent game doesn't mean that it made you more violent.
1,000%. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. He is who he is, and some of his stuff is fantastic. But that aspect of it, like he said that there was a mass shooting. I can't remember exactly where it was, but one of the things was it was a video game. Like they had gone to, I think, an arcade and used like a deer hunting game, like that one with the rifle, and like
Start.
yeah, like to learn good mechanics because the
gnarly.
game was like a true simulator. Like,
Aaron was just telling me a story. Think about, he'd have to come on and tell it, but like somebody like they busted somebody,
yeah,
some sort of like gang activity, something or other, and they went into like their like headquartered spot. And there's like sim guns, targets. They're like training, like
Yeah,
they're actively
training.
training. So it's like you walk in, it's a situation like that. You're like, fuck, like that's sketchy.
well, I mean, they've had, so we were told that in the Marine Corps there were dudes that would join. No, they were told from young age they were never marked that they were gang, and they would get through a certain level of training and then just go AWOL.
Yeah.
And they would cycle back into their gang and they would start training the gang members,
That's gnarly.
like, which is wild when you think about it. So they're out there teaching like big gangs like gang tactics or like full on like militaristic tactics and stuff like that. And even in the military, they have these advanced like video games basically where they've taken like real weapons platforms
Yeah.
and made the guns like light guns, and so like you're fighting in like a pretty big environment, like as big as the room we're in right now, with a screen on one wall, and you can move and shoot a little bit, or you're just engaging targets while you're static. Like they're moving and popping up in different places, so you're like learning good mechanics through that.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hard. Like it's not some like easy, like it's like shooting a real gun because you're handling the weight of the actual weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
those are
Yeah.
those are real things. So
Bad guys train too.
yeah,
So-
bad guys and good guys train.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got to train harder. Train harder than the bad guys.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go do some wedding
Just say,
invitations.
I gotta go eat.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye. Crunch.